So the previous two examples that you did are known as type 1 examples. Why those are known as type 1 example? Because in those type of questions, y is equal to 3x. In this type of question, we have two variables already present in the equation. Okay, one is y, one is x. So this type of equation are already known as linear equation in two variables. Okay, so these are known as type 1 example. But now we are going to dealing with another type of example, which is not a linear equation in two variables. It will be a linear equation in one variable. Okay, and we are going to dealing with that type of example, and we will represent those equations in one variable in a graphical form or on a Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so let's do that question. So the question is, draw the graph of the equation 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So write the equation first. So these are the type 2 example. Okay, so 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now you can see, although it is a linear equation although it is a linear equation, but it doesn't contain two variables. It contains only one variable. So it is a linear equation in one variable. Okay. So how can we represent this equation in a Cartesian coordinate system? Simply by converting the linear equation in one variable into the linear equation in two variables. And we know how can we convert them. See, in this type of equation, which variable is missing? Here y variable is missing. So our target is to entry this variable in the equation. How? In this way, so we can write 4x plus 0 plus 2. Okay, if you add 0, then it doesn't change the value of that original equation. Okay, so now the equation will be 4x plus, you can write 0 as 0 into y, because 0 into y is 0. Okay, so plus 2 is equal to 0. Now you can see it is a linear equation in which variable? In two variable, and it has two variable x and y. So our linear equation in one variable has been converted into a linear equation in two variable. Now we will we will follow the same procedure in order to represent this equation on the Cartesian coordinate system. That means we have to find at least two solutions of this equation and represent those 2 points or solution on this Cartesian coordinate system and draw the straight line, and our graph is finished. So how we can find the solution of this type of equation? I will tell you a trick. In such cases, you have to find which variable is missing here. Since y variable is missing here. Okay, so in such case, you have to take different values of y and find the different values of x. But in other cases, you will put the different values of x and find the different values of y. But in such cases, the variable which is missing here, you have to take that variable to be different points, and find the different values of x. Okay, that means in this case, you have to put different values of y. Like y to be 0, y to be 1, y to be 2, y to be 3, and find the different values of x. Okay, so let's find if y to be 0. You substitute y to be 0 in this equation and find the value of x here. Okay, if you put y to be 0, then the equation will be 4x plus 0 into 0. Okay, plus 2 is equal to 0. So 4x plus 0 into 0 is 0. So 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Hence 4x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to minus 2 by 4, that is minus 1 by 2 after cancellation. So x is equal to 1 by 2 means what? 1 by 2 means 1 is divided by 2. 2 0 is 0, 1.0, 2 5 is 10. So 0.5. That means x is minus sign 0.5. Okay. So the solution is minus 0.5, 0. You have to write the x coordinate first. That is why I am writing minus 0.5, not 0 first. First you have to write minus 0.5, then y coordinate 0. Right? So you have to aware while writing the coordinates. So now put y to be 1 in the equation. Equation will be 4x plus 0 into 1 plus 2 is equal to 0. Now 0 into 1 is 0. So the equation will be 4x plus 2 is equal to 0, 4x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to minus 2 by 4. So after cancellation it gives minus 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 means 0.5, and so you get the solution to be first x coordinate and then y coordinate. Okay, next y is 2. So substitute this value in the equation. The equation will be, now 0 into 2 is 0, so 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 2 by 4 is equal to minus 1 by 2, that is minus 0.5. So write the equation, minus 0.5 first, then y coordinate 2. Okay, next y is equal to 3. So put y is equal to 3 in the original equation. The equation will be 4x plus 0 into 3 plus 2 is equal to 0. Now 0 into 3 is 0. So 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 2 by 4, that is minus 1 by 2. Now minus 1 by 2 is 0.5, so minus 0.5. So write the solution here. So solution is minus 0.5. Should be written fast since this is the x coordinate, then the y coordinate. Okay. So in this way you can get 3 or 4 or more than 4 solution. Okay, what are the solution? First, second, third and fourth. Now our next step is to write all those solution in a tabular form. Okay, so write those points in a tabular form. First row is for x coordinate, second row is for y coordinate, and we got 4 solution here. So draw 4 column. The first solution is x coordinate is minus 0.5, y coordinate is 0, then minus 0.5, then 1, then minus 0.5 and 2, next minus 0.5 and 3. Okay, so we represent all those points in a tabular. But you can see this table. You can see if you put any value of y, any value, whether you put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more than 5, but always you get the value of x to be fixed, to be constant, isn't it? In all the cases the value of x is always minus 0.5. Whatever the value you put for the x, so for the y coordinate. Okay, so in this case the value of x is fixed. Understood? Now let us represent all those points on the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so the first solution or the first point is minus 0.5, 0. Here y coordinate is 0. That means this point lie in x-axis. But whether in positive direction of x or in negative direction of x, see it is minus sign. So it is towards the negative direction of x. And you have to move 0.5 units. 0.5 means half of 1. This is the half of 1. So this point represents minus 0.5, 0. Next, minus 0.5, 1. So you have to move minus 0.5 unit in the negative direction. So you have to move this point. Then 1 unit. 1 unit means towards the positive direction of y-axis. 1 unit. Okay. Now you reach at this point. So this point represents minus 0.5, 1. Understood? Next point is minus 0.5, 2. That means in the x-axis you have to move towards the negative direction up to 0.5 unit. Then in the y-axis towards the top you have to move 2 units. So let's move. Now this point is 2 units. Exactly. For the last point you have to move 0.5 in the negative direction of x-axis and 3 units in the positive direction of y-axis. So 0.5 in negative direction, then this point. Okay, so mention the order pair or coordinates. Minus 0.5, 3. Now we represent all these 4 points on the Cartesian coordinate system. Next we have to join all these points. So let's join them. Okay, you can extend this straight line in both the way, in both the direction. Now you get the solution, the graphical representation. Now this straight line represent which equation? 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Understood? So if the question is linear equation in one variable, then you have to convert it into the linear equation in 2 variables. Okay, and find their solutions. Okay, and while finding the solution you have to look at which variable is missing here. If y variable is missing here, then you have to put different values of y and you will get different values of x. Accordingly, you have to write all those points in the tabular form, then represent in the Cartesian coordinate system, draw the straight line, and you will get the solution. Right? One more thing we could conclude here, that see one thing. This straight line seems to be parallel to the y-axis, isn't it? See, this straight line seems to be parallel to y-axis. If this is our y-axis, okay, and this is our, see, if this is our y-axis, okay, and this is our what? The straight line. And you can see this is a parallel line. These two are parallel lines. See, these two are parallel line or not? Yes, these two are parallel line. They seems to be parallel. Hence, we got a conclusion that if the value of x is fixed, if the value of x is fixed for any value of y, then the graphical representation or the straight line that we get from the linear equation is parallel to y-axis. Again, I am saying, you should note it down. If the value of x is fixed, then the straight line that you get from this equation is always parallel to y-axis. So write it. If the value of x is fixed or constant, right, then the straight line is what? Parallel. Is parallel to which axis? To y-axis. Okay, this is the most important point you have to remember. Okay, if the x coordinate is fixed for any value of y, then the straight line that we got from the equation is always parallel to the y-axis. Understood? Let us do one more question where the variable y is missing. Since it is a linear equation which contains only one variable, that is x. In this equation, variable y is missing. And we are going to draw the graphical form for this linear equation. So let's start. So here in this equation the variable y is missing. So we have to first convert this equation into a linear equation in two variables. So let's convert it. So we can write this equation as like this: 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay. Then you can write 2x plus 0 minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay. Which variable is missing here? Y variable is missing here. Okay, so you can write it as 2x plus 0 can be written as 0 into y minus 4 is equal to 0. Now, our initial equation has been converted into a linear equation in two variables which contains two variables x and y. Now, we have to find some solutions for this linear equation. Okay, how? As I have told you a trick, if variable y is missing, then you have to put different values for y and find the different values for x. Again I am telling you, if the variable y is missing, then you have to put different values of y, okay, and find different values for x. Okay, so let's find. Suppose I put y to be 0, then the equation will be 2x plus 0 into 0 minus 4 is equal to 0. So this is 0, so 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. That is x is equal to 4 by 2, cancel, it is 2. So the solution is 2, 0. Okay, first write the x coordinate. Similarly, in this case also you can find 2x plus y is 1. Okay, so it will be 0 into 1 minus 4 is equal to 0. This is 0. Similarly, you get 2x minus 4 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 4 by 2, that is 2. So here the solution is 2, 1. Similarly, for this case also, it will minus 4 is equal to 0. This is 0. So 2x is equal to 4 implies x is equal to 4 by 2, that is 2. Solution is 2, 2. For y is equal to 3, the equation will be 0 into 3 minus 4 is equal to 0. This becomes 0. So you get 2x is equal to 4 implies x is equal to 4 by 2, that is 2. So the solution is 2 and now we have the 4 solutions. Now we will write this 4 solution in the tabular form. So let's write them. So the x coordinate is 2 and 0. Here 2, 1. Here 2, 2, 2, and here 2, 3. That means one thing you can find out from this table, that the value of x is always 2. Whatever the value of y, but the value of x is always fixed or constant. Okay, so write it. Whose value is constant? X value is constant. How can you know that x value is constant without putting the different values of y? See, one thing you can do here. In this equation, okay, you will find or you will solve for x. So you will find x is equal to 4 by 2. Implies x is equal to 2. So here you get x is equal to 2. That means the x value is always fixed. And what is that? That is 2. So without calculating or without putting the different values of y and finding the different values of x, you can directly find the fixed value of x by solving the equation. So x is equal to 2, and in this y coordinate you can put any value. Okay, any value. Suppose you can put -1, -2, or you can put -7, but always you get 2 in the x coordinate. Okay. Next, we have to represent all those points in the Cartesian coordinate system. So let's represent the first point 2, 0. 2, 0 means y coordinate 0 means it should lie in x axis and towards the positive direction. So this point represents what? 2, 0. Again 2, 1. 2, 1. So in the x coordinate you have to move 2 units, and the y coordinate you have to move 1 unit towards the up this point. Again 2, 2. So 2 and towards up it is Q. And next 2, 3. So in the x coordinate you have to move 2 units towards the right side and 3 units towards the top. So 2 and 3. Now all those 4 points are being represented. Now we have to join all those 4 points. Okay. And you can extend them in both the way. Now this straight line represents the equation 2x is equal to 4. But before that, write down their coordinates. Okay, this is 2, 1, this is 2, 2, this is 2, 3. And this straight line represents which equation? The equation 2x is equal to 4. Understood? And one thing you can see here, this straight line, okay, seems to be parallel to this axis. Okay, suppose this straight line is this, and this is your y-axis this. So these two lines are become parallel to each other. Hence, you can write, if the x coordinate are fixed, okay, for any value of y, or you can get it from this. If the x coordinate is fixed, that is 2, then the straight line that you get from that equation should be parallel to y-axis. Understood? Coming to another question, which is also a type 2 question. So, in this type of question, it is a linear equation which contains only one variable. Okay, so it is a linear equation in one variable. But here, which variable is missing? The variable x is missing. Okay, now remind the previous 2 questions that we did. There, we had the variable y was missing, but here the variable x is missing. Okay, so first we have to convert this equation into a linear equation in 2 variables. Then find their 2 or more solutions and represent them in a Cartesian coordinate system. So let's do it. So our equation is 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. So which variable is missing here? X variable is missing here. Okay. Now we have to enter this x in the original equation without changing any value in the original equation. So how? You can write it as 0 plus 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Next, you can write 0 as 0 into x plus 2 into y minus 5 is equal to 0. Hence, this linear equation in one variable has been converted into a linear equation in 2 variables as it contains both the variable x and y. Okay. So, now the next step is to find some solution for that equation. Okay. As I have told you in the previous question that if variable y is missing, then you have to put different values of y to find different values of x. But here which variable is missing? X variable is missing. It means in such cases you have to put different values of x, okay, different values of x, and find for different values of y. Okay, simple. So let's substitute those values. So first we have taken x to be 0, then substitute it in the original equation. The equation will be 0 into 0 plus 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. So this becomes 0. So you get 2y is equal to 5. Hence you get y is equal to 5 by 2. 5 by 2 means what? 2.5. So the solution is 0. Write the x coordinate first, then 2.5. Understood? This is the first one. Next solution. Suppose we take x to be 1. So the equation will becomes plus 2 into y minus 5 is equal to 0. This becomes 0. Again you get 2y is equal to 5 implies y is equal to 5 by 2, that is 2.5. So the next solution is 1, 2.5. Okay. Next, put x to be 2 in the equation. So equation will be 0 into 2 plus 2 into y minus 5 is equal to 0. Again it becomes 0. So you get y is equal to 5 by 2 is equal to 2.5. So the solution is 2.5. Okay. Next, x is 3. So 0 into 3 plus 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. It becomes 0. So you get y becomes 5 by 2, that is 2.5. Hence the solution is 3, 2.5. Now we get all these 4 solutions. Now you have to write all these 4 solutions in the tabular form. So write them. So first solution is x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 2.5. Again x coordinate is 1, y coordinate is 2.5. X coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 2.5. X coordinate is 3, y coordinate is 2.5. Now look at this table. You can see in this table the value of y is always fixed, that is 2.5. If you put whatever the value of x, but the value of y does not change, it becomes same. So y value is fixed here. So how can you find that y value without calculating such process? Easily you can find it how? See, by solving y. So from this equation you can get 2y is equal to 5. So y is equal to 5 by 2 implies y is equal to 2.5. So in this equation you get y is equal to 2.5. So simply put this value in the y coordinate and you can change or you can put any value for x. Suppose you put x to be minus 1, then the y value will be always 2.5. If you put x to be 0, then your y value is always 2.5. Whatever the value of x, but the y value does not change. And you can get the value of y by using that process also. Okay. So the next step is to represent those points on the Cartesian coordinate system. So let us represent them. So for the first point, 0, 2.5. Since the x coordinate is 0, that means it should lie on which axis? On y-axis. And since the y coordinate has positive sign, that means it should lie towards the positive direction of y-axis or towards the top. And we have to move up to 2.5 unit. 1, 2, 3. Then in between 2 and 3 you get 2.5. So this is 0, 2.5. Its coordinate is 0, 2.5. Second point is 1, 2.5. In x coordinate you have to move 1 unit and in y coordinate you have to move 2.5 units. So 2.5 units. Now this point represents 1, 2.5. Okay. Then 2, 2.5. 2 and 2.5. Now this point represents 2, 2.5. Okay. Next point is 3, 2.5. So 3 and 2.5. This point represents 3, 2.5. Now all the 4 points are being represented. Next task is to join all these points. Okay, so let's join them. You can extend them in both the way. Okay, hence our linear equation has been converted into a graphical form, and the graphical form is a what? It is a straight line. It is a straight line. So this straight line represents the equation 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. Understood? Finished. Next thing, you can conclude one thing here, that this straight line seems to be parallel to this horizontal axis, isn't it? This straight line is parallel to this horizontal axis. Yes or no? Yes. So what you can conclude here? We concluded that if we draw the graphical form of an equation in which the y value is fixed, then in such cases the straight line is parallel to the x-axis. Again I am saying, if you draw a straight line for such an equation in which the y value is fixed, then that straight line is parallel to x-axis. Okay, so write the note. If you can write directly, if y value of an equation is fixed, if the y value of an equation is fixed, then the straight line is what? Parallel to which axis? To horizontal axis. That horizontal axis is known as x-axis. Okay, so this is your note 2. In note 1, you concluded that if the x value is fixed, then that straight line is parallel to which axis? Y-axis. But here you get that if the y value is fixed, then the straight line is parallel to which axis? X-axis. So the two notes are being converged to each other. Understood? Let's do another question. So first read the question. Solve the equation 2x plus 1 is equal to x minus 3. Okay. So you have to first solve this equation and find the value for x. Okay, it is clear? Next what we will do? And represent this equation or represent it in the Cartesian system. Okay, understood the question? So first you have to solve this equation. Okay, and find the value for x. Now the equation that you get after solving it should be represented in this Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so let's solve this equation first. So the equation is 2x plus 1 is equal to x minus 3. Now how can we solve it? In order to solving them, you have to first make all the like terms nearer to each other. So in LHS and RHS, you can see these two terms are like terms. Why these two terms are like terms? Because they have the same variable as well as they have the same exponent, that is 1. These two terms have the same exponent. So these two terms are like terms. So make them closer. So when plus x moves to the left, it will be minus x. Now what will be remaining in the right hand side? It will be minus 3. Now this and this two terms are also like terms. Why? Because these are known as the non-zero constant terms. So when plus 1 goes to the right hand side, it will be minus 1. Now 2x minus x is x and minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. Now you get the value for x. Now this is the ultimate linear equation. Okay, and it is an equation in which variable? In one variable, that is x. Okay, so it is a linear equation in one variable. Okay, now we can easily represent this equation on the Cartesian coordinate system. But before representing this equation in the Cartesian coordinate system, you can follow two processes. Okay, what are the two processes? The first process, as we have already known, in the first process you have to convert this equation in linear equation in two variables, isn't it? So in this process you have to first find out which variable is missing here. Which variable is missing here? The variable y is missing here. So you can write this equation as x plus 0, okay, is equal to minus 4. X plus 0 into y is equal to minus 4. X plus 0 into y minus 4 comes to the left hand side, to be plus 4 is equal to 0. Now you get this linear equation in one variable has been converted into a linear equation in two variables. Now the next step is to find at least two solutions for this equation and writing those solutions in the tabular form. Now represent those points on the Cartesian coordinate system, then you can easily find the graphical form of this equation. Okay, but the second step or the second procedure what? In the second procedure, which is very easy process. So in this process, you get what? You get x is equal to minus 4. Okay, and it is a linear equation in one variable. That means the value of x is always minus 4. Always, whatever the value of y you can put, but the x value doesn't change. So in the tabular form, you can write x to be always minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. Okay, and put any value of y, any value 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever the value you can put for y, but you get the value of x to be always minus 4. Okay, in this process also you get the same result, but this process is very easy process. Okay, here the value of x always minus 4, so simply put x to be minus 4 and find any value of y. Okay, now we have to represent those points on the number line or on the Cartesian coordinate system. So the first point is minus 4, 0. Since the y coordinate 0, that means the point minus 4, 0 should lie in x axis, and the x coordinate has minus sign, so it should lie towards the negative direction of x axis, that is minus 4 units in the negative direction. Now the second point is minus 4 in the x axis, okay, and 1 in the y axis, this point. Then minus 4 to minus 4 in x axis, 2 unit in y axis. Then minus 4, 3, minus 4, and this is your 3. Now join all this one and extend that. So this represents which equation? This represents the equation x is equal to minus 4. Okay. So in order to represent this type of linear equation in one variable, you can follow this process, or you can follow the easiest process that I have told you. Okay. And you can easily represent this equation in a straight line form in a Cartesian coordinate system. Understood?